Cannons to the left. How does it go?
Cannons to the right of them.
Well inside field goal range.
That's not it.
Oh man, actually, that was it.
Was it?
No, it's not.
Yeah, it was on the end.
Cannons
To the left of them. Cannons to the right of them. Volley and thunder.
Fire those cannons, man. Money Mike is back. He signed, he agreed to a 2-year, $52 million contract to remain with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers instead of testing the free agency market. $35 million guaranteed. And you know what else is guaranteed? Another 1,000-yard season.
Yes, sir.
That's all he's done since he's been in the league. So I'm happy for Mike, man. When you put blood, sweat, and tears into a franchise, this is what you want. You want to be rewarded.
You guys just missed it.
What did we miss?
The commercial. I just saw it. Come on.
The Morongo?
Yeah.
Morongo.
I'm sorry.
Also, it's front loaded. So 35 is guaranteed. He's $29 million in year one.
As he should.
Good for him.
This is a good way to show the younger guys what to be expected when you actually do right and your franchise do right by you. And I think Mike taking the pay cut to winning the Super Bowl, he's been here through the ups and downs through the Jameis, all different quarterbacks that's been throughout this organization, and to get, a return on your investment. It's shout out to Mike, man. And what does this mean for the Bucs, Breeze?
It means that the Bucs are still trying to hold on to a window. I do think there is a window left to try to be a contender, to try to make a run. And it says that they're committed to continue to do that, because you look at it, Tom Brady leaves in not the greatest fashion.
Right.
Then you go out and you sign Baker Mayfield, and nobody expects you to really do anything. And then you go out and you make you make the playoffs. You win the worst division in all of football, and you make the playoffs. And you could say, all right, look, what are we really? Do you start the
blow it up?
Do you start the restart early before you're forced into it? And it clearly says that they don't believe that they have to go that route. It says that they still believe that there's a window they can make a run. And obviously, in order to do that in today's NFL, you got to be able to throw the ball. Let's be honest. It's not a running league anymore. And to be able to keep one of the best receivers in the league, I think he's top 5 in the league.
Agreed.
Every year. The stats say he's top 5 as far as when you look at consistency. So to be able to keep one of those guys in your roster says that you still got a shot.
And as a fan, it makes you want to root for this team, because they're not just punting on this team. They're not blowing it up. They're still competing as an organization. Before I get Pump's thoughts on this as well, what do you think the next move? Obviously, you got to sign Antoine Whitfield. I think we sign Whitfield first.
Probably
that's priority.
I don't think it's a matter of which one gets signed first. Both deals get done, and I don't think they really inhibit one or the other. Right? So, both deals will still get done, because hopefully they're not throwing big money at Baker, because he doesn't have a lot of better options. He wants to be here.
So you're on the Bake train.
No, I am not on the Bake train, but I've accepted that that's what they're going to do. They're going to re-sign Baker, which I'm fine with that. Pay him as a stopgap quarterback. Don't pay him as a franchise quarterback.
All while drafting a younger quarterback to sit behind him.
Which they're also not going to do. But that's what I would like them to do. They're not going to do that.
There's a bunch in the draft.
Oh, they're going to draft the DN. They're going to draft the safety. They're going to draft the corner. They'll draft the linebacker, a receiver, maybe in the 3rd round. We love to do that. We love to take a 3rd round receiver.
We love to get a no-name guard from Monmouth or
something like that. I mean, they'll probably take Latu, I think his name is, the DN from Washington. I'm fine with that. I would, if I'm choosing between him and Michael Penix, address the most important position on the field before you have to.
Right.
And unfortunately, we're going to wait until it's too late. I was talking to somebody, I'm like, the Packers have shown us the way to do this.
Yeah.
They've shown the league how you do it. You don't draft a quarterback when you need one. You draft a quarterback while you have one. It's like looking for a job. You don't quit your job first and then start looking for a new one. Yeah. You look while you still got your job. And unfortunately, we're not going to do that.
That's a good point.
So we're going to re-sign Bake. Hopefully it continues to go well. If it doesn't, then we'll just be out there floundering and trying to move up in a draft to take a rookie when you could have taken a guy late first round,
Right.
who maybe
and prepare him.
correct. Or you take whatever you need in the first round and then you trade up in the second round. If a guy like Michael Penix is sitting around, maybe Bo Nix is still sitting around, you trade up to get one of those guys, but we're not going to do that.
Unfortunately, I feel like even though the Packers have shown, I guess, in a way, the blueprint, they started off with, Brett Favre, who clearly by the time they drafted Aaron Rodgers was obviously on his way to Canton, right? So when you get an Aaron Rodgers and you sit him behind another Hall of Famer, and then all of a sudden, okay, now he's ready to go. And then by the time you draft Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers is already on his way to Canton. Mm-hmm. That formula sounds really good. You got to get two guys back to back that are going to Canton. But the reason why I say that is because I think Baker Mayfield, well, obviously he's going to be a stopgap for potentially whoever your next quarterback is going to be, right? And I think Baker Mayfield, I think his professionalism is something that you would like to have a quarterback come behind.
Yeah.
He's going to show you how to work, even if the talent, which we know is there, he's a Heisman winner. He has talent, right? It hasn't always consistently translated to the NFL level, but I wouldn't be mad to see somebody come behind and sit behind Baker, where in those other situations, they had years to sit behind Brett Favre, a couple years to sit behind Aaron Rodgers. Is Baker going to be here in 3 years?
We're gonna probably.
I think
you think so?
Yeah.
I think we'll give him probably a 3-year deal.
Okay.
Last year as an option, but not only just from his professionalism and his work ethic, but also the way he works the locker room.
Yeah.
Like the guys in the locker room love Baker because he goes out of his way to be likable to his teammates, which I think a lot of upstart hotshot quarterbacks don't get that.
Right.
They come in, I'm the number one pick. I'm the guy. I was this, that, and the third. This is my show type of deal, as opposed to a Baker who's like a servant leader, which it would be great to get a young quarterback and come see that.
And you don't want to see young quarterbacks get damaged too early. That's what kind of happened with Jameis Winston amongst other quarterbacks. And when you have a guy like Mike Evans, who we started this conversation off with, you could see how a veteran receiver works certain routes and how they prepare. So when you do take over the helm and Mike Evans isn't there, you could kind of expect certain things from the younger receivers. So it's good to sit and just watch the game and learn. And I think there's a core veteran guys on this Bucs team where you could just develop a young quarterback in waiting. So hopefully they go that route. But like Bree said, it's the Bucs. We're gonna left tackle.
They're saying our needs are D end and cornerback and safety.
We do need some corners.
We need a receiver. Okay.
Speaking of quarterbacks, the Denver Broncos today told Russell Wilson they're going to release him next week. Just 18 months ago, he signed a 5-year, $242 million extension. Where's the best fit for Russ moving forward? Because he's obviously on his last leg. Let's just try to get him a starting job. Can you guys play along?
Yeah, he can.
What teams are out there that would invest any kind of money in Russ to take the helm at quarterback?
Assistant pastor with Joel Osteen.
Steelers? I've heard Steelers.
Remember on Semi-Pro, he's like, at least I ain't ride the bench.
So we're saying none of the 32 teams would sign Russ.
Russ' best situation is as an insurance policy for a contender. So if you are a contender and you are concerned about your starter potentially getting hurt and you want a nice insurance policy, go sign Russell Wilson.
So now he's a perennial backup at this point.
I mean, did you see him in the last time he played?
Pump, that's your guy. I'm gonna call you out on it. You've caped for him a lot.
Did I cape for him?
Yes, you have, and I've been. You
were not as quick to flush the toilet on him like the rest of us.
No, I wasn't. I mean, the Denver years have clearly. That's also just a bad team.
So you're saying there's a chance?
See?
No. I'm not saying there's a chance. I like what Breeze is saying. Like to me, I feel like Russell on a Miami Dolphins team
as a backup.
Tua has a history.
Okay.
If Tua goes down, bring in Russell. maybe you don't have that far of a drop off. I can see that. Bring him on Houston. Yeah.
Cincinnati.
Bring him on Cincinnati. Yeah.
You lost Joe a couple times.
That's a good spot. So yeah, Russell right now isn't the difference between making a Super Bowl anymore. He's not that quarterback. He's the one that's going to keep you afloat probably. I think he's good enough on a team that has good talent.
Okay.
So a Cincinnati, a Miami, a Houston, you know what those guys are. Yeah, bring in Russ just in case.
Or the other situation I thought of was situation where there's a new head coach. Like, does Harbaugh love Herbert?
Yes.
Does he?
Yes. He's in love with him.
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
To me, that's the perfect quarterback and the perfect situation for Jim Harbaugh.
In our opinion, but he might not love him. So
I think he does too.
Do you bring in a Russ to push him, or as your insurance policy?
I also don't know. Again, the things that we've learned about Russell Westbrook just as a person.
Russell Wilson.
I'm sorry, gee whiz.
It's the same.
Yeah, the things that we've learned about Russell Wilson as a person.
Yeah.
I don't see a new head coach saying, "Yeah, I want to attach my tenure to him."
Well, I don't know about attach my team to him, but bring him in to push a guy.
And let's be honest, Russ, he's starting to develop a sort of reputation as being a bad teammate. Like we've heard Marshawn said things about him, and he doesn't pick up the phone for certain teammates. So you want to bring that kind of guy who's essentially a diva who shouldn't be a diva anymore into that locker room.
And that's how I'm wondering, will his ego allow him to be Tua's backup? Will his ego allow him?
Think so.
Now again, there's a team.
If he ain't got no choice, if that phone ain't ringing,
well, the thing is,
need them bills paid.
The thing is, the Raiders still exist.
Is she pregnant again?
She is.
Is she?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I mean,
was he trying to be? What was my guy out in San Diego?
Cromartie?
No, Phillips. He's got like 10 kids.
Oh yeah.
Cromartie too.
Yeah, Cromartie got a ton of kids,
and he's doing them with a vasectomy.
That's crazy. But anyway. Yeah, I think it'll be a situation where he's got to take the best offer that's coming.
Yeah. Like I said, there's still dumb organizations. The Raiders are still dumb. They'll still do dumb things.
Oh, the Vikings are dumb too.
Sure.
Yeah, the Vikings are actually talking Justin Fields. I don't know if y'all want to touch that or not.
Y'all ain't trading him.
No, we're not trading him in division.
In division, yeah.
Not at all. Because no. And let Justin Fields be good.
and the Falcons are too stupid to do it. Same people who went out of their way to say that they weren't in on Lamar Jackson, which, okay, bro, because you're doing so well without him.
That's not going to happen at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think. But the Vikings do want a quarterback, and I can see them being silly enough and going out and getting Russ.
All right, so it's free agency, guys. Let's play matchmaker for our respective.
Ooh.
That's what it is.
The what?
It's lying season.
Oh,
sure. Let's play matchmaker for our respective franchise. Pump, I'll start with you. Give me 3 free agents that you would want on the Bears. You need need a lot. So,
are we assuming they're keeping Justin? Or it actually really doesn't matter because if you don't keep Justin, you're getting Caleb anyway. So
yeah, they're gonna trade Justin Fields. One thing I would like is a stable running back, and I like Khalil Herbert. He's cool. Has a tendency of getting hurt, which is why it's maddening to think that I would want to kick the tires on Saquon Barkley.
Why not?
That's what I'm saying. Why not? I think that they also need their defense is actually okay. They need offensive line help. They just traded for a O lineman from Buffalo, I believe, which honestly doesn't say a lot to me. Are there any like big name offensive linemen out there on free agency? Because that's the Bears' major need outside of.
I am looking through the list now. Is there any particular offensive line, just in general?
1 through 5.
Well, Tyron Smith, formerly of the
Cowboys,
Okay.
is
he's 33,
going to be a free agent.
You don't want a 33-year-old guy at left tackle.
Yeah, is it better than? I mean, if he's better than what we have right now, I think Braxton Jones is who we got out there.
He played 942 snaps this season, so he was durable. Played a lot of snaps.
Yeah, the Bears need more help on offense than anything.
All right, so you need Saquon in the perfect world. Tyron Smith, one more guy.
We need a center
and a center.
You need 2 O linemen.
Yeah.
What you could probably get in the draft. Center is not like a need, like a
when you
high level need on the offensive line. You can
guys not
find a
watching
guy.
Thanasis do his thing right now.
We can't keep bringing up the Thanasis on a week to week
The man
basis.
hit that sham guy.
Man, I'm not.
He does have a bag. I'm telling you.
Listen, you be going too far
No,
with it.
you just said he hit the sham guard.
Well, he did hit the sham guy, but
He got a bag. We talking NFL though. Let's stay on topic.
Yeah, the Bears need O-line help and running game help. I think they have enough right now at the wide receiver and tight end. Cole Kmet's nice. DJ
Lloyd
Moore
Cushenberry.
nice.
Center
From Denver. Yeah. He's the number one center in free agency.
Kick the tires on it.
All right, center, left tackle, running back.
Yep.
All right. Breeze?
What do the Bucks need?
Yeah. Give me 3.
I would. I don't know if I have names off the top of my head.
I could throw one out.
Go for it.
Brian Burns. Just try.
He's not leaving.
Just try.
They're gonna re-sign him. There's no way Carolina lets him walk.
You think they tag him or they actually sign him?
They don't pay him. They ain't paying nobody else.
I don't even think they have a
the
first
money.
round pick though.
They're not trade. They're not going to let him leave.
Okay.
So they'll re-sign him. But maybe we can get a Bryce Huff from the Jets, who could leave from the Jets. I think he's a pretty decent pass rusher. I think we're going to draft the pass rusher.
Okay.
So other than that, then we're probably looking at maybe a safety. There are some safeties that are out there. I don't know how many are going to be realistic for us. I just saw one.
The guy that what's the guy that just I'm drawing a blank.
Xavier McKinney?
No. I'll circle back to it.
Xavier McKinney's out there. Kyle Duggar is out there from New England. So I wouldn't mind picking up a safety. I don't know what type of money we're going to be able to have to throw at a guy like that. I wouldn't be mad at picking up another offensive lineman, particularly a tackle, which hard to get good tackles in free agency without having to pay them a ton of money. And then other than that, a backup running back. Like I think your boy is solid. He's good, but I would like to have a better backup running back, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. I think Rashad White, he's
solid.
He's a good out the backfield guy, catch the ball out the backfield, but you need that guy that could get you 5 yards a pop. And I don't think Rashad could do that. I don't think he'll hit a home run here and there, but he's normally getting you like 2 yards a carry. Like he's not a consistent back as far as running the ball, but he's a hell of a pass catcher though.
Or if you can get a tight end like Dalton Schultz. We had 0 tight end production this last year. So I wouldn't mind a tight end because we know going back to his Oklahoma days, Baker Mayfield will get the ball to a tight end. He does like to throw to the tight ends, and we didn't really have anything that were worth anything. So if you get a Dalton Schultz who's now 28, a little bit older, but he was top 10 last season among tight ends in yards, receptions, and touchdowns, actually for over the last 2 seasons. So Dalton Schultz, I wouldn't be mad at that. To add a threat in the middle of the field, which makes things easier for Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and those guys.
I can see that. Mainly, I would focus on defense, though.
But our defense was elite.
And our offense is pretty good.
We scored 9 points against the Panthers, bro. Was that our last game of the season? That offense would disappear at times.
I mean, you could draft though, but we'll see. We'll see. I trust Jason.
There are no Miami tight ends in this draft, so no, I don't draft tight ends.
Stop it.
Tight ends? We arguing against that?
Whatever.
Hey,
Caleb,
you don't believe in my? Okay, we can do it another time.
No, it's I just don't want to say it live.
Oh, that's fair. Okay,
Miami.
no, that's fine. No,
You guys are
got
tight end. You.
Thanks.
There you have it.
Thanks.
Makes you itchy, huh?
That was so.
Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. Essentially did nothing at the combine. Caleb, he did the interview. Marvin didn't even show up for the interview. They'll probably go 1 and 2. You would presume. Is
that the expectation? Marvin goes 2?
I don't think he goes past 3.
He goes over like Drake May and Jaden Daniels?
It's a possibility.
Really?
Talent wise, they're 1 and 2.
That would be surprising. Just considering that there are multiple quote unquote elite quarterbacks in this draft, that would be a little surprising. But
I wouldn't be shocked.
Crazier things have happened.
I wouldn't be shocked if the Bears kept Justin Fields and draft Marvin Harrison.
I would.
First overall?
Yes.
I'll be very surprised.
He still has
Crazier
to work
things
out
have happened.
Well, first of all, if they use the number 1 pick on Marvin Harrison, that's stupid because everybody right now wants Caleb Williams.
Correct.
Okay.
So that would be really dumb on their part.
Whoever picks first overall is picking
taking
Caleb
Caleb
Williams.
They've done dumber things now. They've
Actually, they've been better lately with their draft decisions. They've been better.
Yeah, a little bit.
Here's the one thing I will say. I would not be surprised if you saw more bona fide elite guys like that not go to the combine. Because, and I think I was reading an article about it, Marvin Harrison can stay where he's at, continue working with his trainer. When they come to Columbus, Ohio, at his pro day, he gets to choose the quarterback. He gets to choose what he does and doesn't do, as opposed to combine. You show up and do whatever they tell you to do.
Right.
Why would I do that?
When I can control my setting.
I'll control my setting. I'll continue to work with my trainer because let's be honest, nothing at the combine is going to make him any higher or look any better than he's already looked.
Correct.
So why am I going there?
What's your take on Caleb Williams opting out to take medical exams at the combine? You like
The team that's going to
Do you
draft
read anything into that, or
the Bears are doing all their meds on him because the Bears are going to take him. Whoever's the number 1 team that's going to draft, they'll get all the medical records. That's it. At that point, why am I doing it for the Bucs?
Yeah.
The Bucs aren't drafting me.
Right.
Right? Why am I doing it for the Chargers? The Chargers aren't drafting me. The Bears are going to draft me, or we know that they're going to trade the pick, and I'll give it to them.
Right.
all right? So you guys don't think it's a big deal that these high end players are starting to just not show up
Like
or
did Drake
opt
May?
out?
Did Drake May go and throw?
I don't think he threw.
Or Jaden Daniels?
No.
They're going to be drafted.
And why would I? Now I saw like Michael Penix was there, JJ McCarthy was there.
So
because JJ McCarthy can boost his stock.
Do you
Correct.
give
Those
those
guys have more to
guys a notch over the guys that don't show up
No.
based on like competitiveness?
I don't care what JJ McCarthy do. I'm not taking him over Caleb Williams. I don't care what he do.
Yeah.
He can show up and be a combination of Brady, Manning, and Cam Newton.
And it's still going to be Caleb
I'm
Williams that
still
goes first.
taking
I
Caleb.
know you're not on Twitter, but Breeze, did you see JC with the meme of Omar Epps hanging out the window shooting, then missing?
No, I didn't see it, but I know what you're talking about.
That was JJ McCarthy.
That's funny. He was missing people like that. It didn't look good.
I didn't watch. I didn't watch the
Okay.
throws. But speaking of the combine, who won money or who lost money this past weekend?
Some of our guys got some money. Braden Fitz made some money.
That was my guy.
Yeah, Braden Fitz made him some money. JC actually made a good point too on Keon Coleman. When after his 40 time, I just flat out I hit him up and I asked him do you think that Keon's 40 time had anything to do with injuries? We know that there's a lot of guys that were injured on that team late.
Yeah,
and he was like, no, just watch him run. The man consistently ran 20 miles an hour across the field in a straight line and caught everything.
that was the third fastest in the receiver group.
Correct. So now, you ran a 4.6. All right, cool. He doesn't have any pads on.
What's your game speed like?
What's your game speed like? Run as fast as you can. Don't break stride and catch everything that's thrown to you. That's actually what's going to happen in the NFL.
And the GOAT, Jerry Rice, ran what, a 4.7?
Sure.
4.6 and change. Larry Fitzgerald ran a 4.6, 4.5 and change.
Anquan Bolden ran a 4.7.
To me personally, I think the 40 time is the most overrated stat in all of football.
Agreed.
Because I don't care what a D tackle runs on the 40. Why do I care? How often are you being asked to run 40 yards as a defensive tackle?
Mm-hmm.
If my D tackle is having to run 40 yards straight on a play,
My defense is trash.
correct. We've already lost the play.
So is that predicated on what position it is or just in general?
Or just again, or even receivers. How many receivers have we seen come out and run ridiculous 40 times? They go to the NFL. They can't get separation.
Mm-hmm.
Their hands are inconsistent. They can't run a route tree. What did you do in pads between the lines?
Darius
Keon
Hayward
Coleman made plays when the whistle got blown. I don't care what he does in basketball shorts.
Correct.
The combine, to me, it seems like the rest of the world is starting to come around to it, is mostly a waste of time. It's a chance for some guys to show some stuff that is oh, I didn't know that guy could do that, which, okay. But They're going to go to their pro days and do a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
It's a big what is it, dog and pony show?
Big time.
Like, I don't even watch anymore. First of all, it's boring most of the time. And second of all, like, yes, Xavier Worthy broke the record in 40 time.
I was going to bring that up.
Can he run the route tree? What was the kid Dotson? Who ran like a crazy 40 time.
I remember Darius Hayward Bay. That's like the most popular one that I remember back in the day.
There was a kid from like TCU who ran like some crazy 40, and he ended up getting drafted. I want to say first, second round. He disappeared.
Oh, Rager.
Jalen Rager.
Yeah.
Is he even still in the league? Who cares?
Who got taken before Justin Jefferson?
Yeah.
Who cares what? Like, that stuff is so ridiculous, and to me, and I said this to you in the chat, it's stuff like that GMs end up drafting guys on because they don't know how to really watch film. Mm-hmm. There are a bunch of guys in shirts and ties in really nice suits who drive really, really nice cars who have paid a lot of money to draft players, and they don't really know football.
Yeah.
Because if it takes now for you to realize that certain guys are good football players, what were you doing the last season when they were actually playing real games?
So I kind of don't agree with you because sometimes the film doesn't match up with the athleticism, and it shows for some players in the league. But
Give me an example.
I'll have to get back to you on it. But
Okay.
I'm watching this guy right here. I'm watching Austin Reeves. What about if I put him in whatever kind of drills to show me that you're a really athletic basketball player? He's probably going to fail. He doesn't look athletic at all.
I think he went undrafted.
He can play basketball. That's the point.
He understands the game.
He knows how to play basketball. There's guys that I watch. I remember the Bears drafted a guy because he could jump out of a pool. Crazy athleticism, right? Like this is this video of him standing like the deep end. He jumps out of the pool.
Tristan Wirth did that.
Tristan did it, but Tristan also balled on the game,
and you can see what he does on tape. So again, there's nothing there's nothing on tape that showed that this guy should be drafted over this guy because you know what? They stopped the game, and in the middle of the 50-yard line, he pushed 14 reps.
Okay.
It never happens.
Never.
Now, I've seen a guy move. We've seen Jared Verse just flat out move people. Bull rush a guy straight into a quarterback. That's what I want you to do.
Correct.
There's nothing about a bench press that's going to say, you know what, Jared? But can you do that to an offensive lineman? Yes, I can. But I've shown you.
Bench press don't fight back.
You talked about the Florida State guys. It could also help a guy like Braden Fix make it into the first round, where he was kind of on the edge of the first or the second.
Right, but the thing is, to me, I saw Braden Fisk in that ACC championship pretty much dominate the entire game and win it by himself.
But people didn't know how athletic he was until he came out and dominated the combine.
Wait.
That made him some money.
Which says to me, you don't know football.
You know,
because in order to do that in an actual game, it takes quick twitch, reading reactability, a first step, power, real live strength. I don't care what you can do in basketball shorts. What are you doing as a grown man in front of you? Can you move him?
And in all honesty,
yes, you can play ball.
You remember that play that changed the Florida State Clemson game, right? Loach got the fumble, picks it up, scoop and score. You know who's running down with Kalen DeLoach? Braden Fisk. He's right behind him. Your D lineman is running with him, and Kalen DeLoach did what? A 4.6, 4.5?
4.78.
And here's my D lineman.
Kalen, 4.4. Sorry.
And Braden Fisk is right there in stride with him.
There was a guy on Twitter predicting people's 40 times based on real analytics. Where literally what real analytics does is they take game film and based on different things, they're tracking how fast a guy is moving.
In pads, in game situations.
I would care more about that than a 40 time at the combine.
Correct.
For the combine is for people who don't really know or watch ball. Yeah. And now they have to find a way to sell a guy to the ownership and say, well, look what he did at the combine. He ran so fast.
In all honesty, I was
watch games.
When the combine was made back in the early 80s, you still had a type of football that was all about strength and endurance.
Correct.
Right? Clearly, you had skilled guys. Everybody or people that could run faster than the other guys, right? Gale Sayers could run past all those slow white guys.
Yes.
Right? So now, all of a sudden, we might need to see who can run a little bit faster. Dick Buckus wasn't fast. He just hit people really hard. But he was also really smart. Right?
Understood football.
So now when you see these combines, well, the combine was made for a certain period of NFL. now all of a sudden when I'm looking at it, we have these things that can actually now track how fast a guy can run.
Right.
Just highlight them. Oh man, you know what? Cheetah hit 24 miles an hour on this play. In game.
So I'm interested to find out, is there any of the drills at the combine that you guys actually give a crap about? For me, it's the gauntlet. Like, you could prove how good a guy could catch in both directions, going full speed in a straight line. The 40, I'm with you on the 40. Like, yeah, you could run a good 40, but what is your game speed like? You're just a track star.
Yeah, even that is hard for me, considering the fact that, you can still have. What if Johnny Wilson, hits top speed, 18 miles an hour and catches every ball in that gauntlet? Well, we know Johnny Wilson drops balls.
Correct.
So that
you
shows
put on
me,
a good
oh
show.
my God,
Yeah.
you're 6'7", you run like this and you catch everything? No, that's not Johnny.
You just had a good day.
You just had a good day.
So
Fair enough.
I wanted to do it a few years back to give it some time to see how it worked out. So there was an article on ESPN back in 2021, April 23rd, by Jeff Legwold. It was the 2021 NFL Draft Risers, prospects who climbed because of what they did at the combine. You want to hear the names?
Yes.
Name number 1, Zach Wilson. Name number 2, Quinn Miners, the guard from Wisconsin.
Who?
James Hudson, tackle from Cincinnati.
Okay.
Kelvin Joseph, corner from Kentucky.
Okay.
Tyson Campbell, cornerback from Georgia.
Jags.
Malcolm Kuntz, outside linebacker and DN from Buffalo.
Who?
Okay.
Demetric Felton, running back from UCLA.
Okay.
So, again, this rising in the combine, I don't care what you do in basketball shorts. The game ain't played in basketball shorts. If it's basketball, I want to see what you do in basketball shorts. This is football. What do you do with pads on between the lines?
And you have 32 guys that all aren't that smart.
Right. The game is just becoming more. They're over analyzing the game. Like you said, can you move the guy in front of you? Can you get open against the guy in front of you? Can you throw accurately to an open wide receiver?
There was a team one time that decided to trade up one spot to not take Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson, who clearly showed that, should probably be the first quarterback off the board.
Oh, is that the same draft where Lamar Jackson was passed up by 30 different teams?
I think so.
31 teams?
31 teams, yeah.
31 teams? Because even though you watched him play football games and he drug Louisville to a top 5 ranking,
And at that
I don't
point,
know about what he does in basketball
Right.
shorts.
We've seen Dalvin get passed over to the second round.
based
the
off
Bucks
of
passed up Adrian Peterson.
And again, at that point, it's based on what? If clearly the talent shows you something else. Oh well, he's got
character
issues. What did Dalvin do?
He's got dreads.
Score touchdowns.
He's from
A
Miami.
bunch of them.
He scored a lot of touchdowns.
A bunch of them.
So what are we doing?
I mean, to be honest, Cheetah got
Lamar
character
running
issues, right? But would anybody in the NFL take him right now?
Who?
Cheetah.
Yeah.
Cheetah's got baggage. If you want to
He
do the
does.
research on it, Cheetah
He
got
does.
baggage. Now, if that baggage came out before the draft, clearly you see what he is. I wonder how many GMs would be honest and say, "Yeah, I probably wouldn't have drafted him."
Yeah.
As opposed to right now, do you want him on your team? 32
100%.
teams say yes.
Cam
31
Newton,
because he's on one of them.
Cam Newton said that when he was getting drafted, the GM for the Panthers said he couldn't get any tattoos. What does that have to do with football? I think everything just gets overanalyzed for no reason.
It's a waste of time. It's the time for a bunch of goofballs in shirts and ties and very, very nice suits
And you have a bunch of uncomfortable white men too.
to have somebody
Judging
do
black
the
guys.
work for them. It's
Sounds
got
familiar.
a little slave trade-ish vibe to it. But
That's a
yeah,
big boy though.
Man, how fast can you run, boy?
they start checking you out, turn around, they slap you on the back a couple
Oh, you
times.
can breathe this
He's
one.
got good hawks on him.
Yeah, man, it's for people who don't really know football to have somebody do the homework for them.
Yeah. All right. My final question on the way out. Is this probably going to be the best wide receiver class since the OBJ, Mike Evans, Jarvis Landry? Who else? Who else was in that class?
What class was that? Actually,
I'll go through the list of this year's class if you want to pull that class up. This year's class, you got Marvin Harrison Jr., of course, the leader in the clubhouse. You got Malik Neighbors, who many think is better than Rome Odunze. I don't agree. Rome Odunze, they got number 3 on the list. This is CBS Sports, by the way. Brian Thomas Jr., the other LSU wide receiver who ran a 4.35. I don't know if we care about that after that conversation. Xavier Worthy, Keon Coleman, Javon Baker.
This was a nice draft.
And A.D. Mitchell.
This was a really nice draft.
Is it comparable to the OBJ class?
Well, in all honesty, so talent wise, let's stop there for a second, right? Because clearly
I didn't mention Johnny Wilson.
But we also
a freak.
Yeah. But we know what they did in the league, and some of these guys are still relevant. They didn't pan out to what they did. So first wide receiver off the board that year was Sammy Watkins. We know what he did. Mike Evans went 7,
Hall of Famer.
Odell Beckham went 12. Brandon Cooks went 20, and then Caleb Benjamin. Kelvin Benjamin. So again,
you had a 1 or 2 in the second round too. In the second round, you got Marquise Lee, who had a cup of coffee. Mm-hmm. You had Jordan Matthews, and you had Devontae Adams in the second round.
And Allen Robinson later.
Allen Robinson
very
also
solid, and Jarvis Landry down there.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Juice.
So that's a good draft.
You got Devontae out. You got 2 Hall of Famers out of that.
Martavius Bryant down there later in the draft.
That was a good guy.
So again, that also goes to show guys who are just willing to work hard, because Kelvin Benjamin should have been up there with Mike Evans.
And he came back to try out as a tight end with the Giants.
And
his game didn't translate.
So
no.
Looking at,
but it should have. It really should have.
But he didn't work hard enough.
He didn't work hard enough. There's a lot of reasons why guys just don't do, but at the same time, he got drafted over Devontae Adams, who was a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. I mean, Devontae wasn't.
He wasn't.
You mean he wasn't a riser?
That too.
Yeah, he went to Fresno State.
That
Who
too.
cares?
He won the name. Is this draft class?
I know
better than that one.
With that class, it's already pretty much a finished product. We're projecting here, so if we could project, do you think this class will even surpass that class?
I guess the question is, can you get 2 Hall of Famers out of this class?
Let's pick them. I'm gonna take Marvin Harrison. I think he has the potential to be a Hall of Famer. He's got a Hall of Fame dad, so that means something.
I mean, the thing is, the first 3 guys have the potential to be stars.
I don't know.
You don't think Rome has the potential to be a star?
And I'm a huge Rome fan. I just don't know.
I think he does.
When I look at the film looks great. The film looks great with Rome. I'm looking for. This is kind of late. It's not true. What is his special trait? Is it his hands?
He's well rounded.
That concerns me.
You have to have some. What is Mike Evans' special trait?
He's big.
He's big and fast. He's always been able to run past people, and he's huge.
And he's had issues with the.
He's had drops.
But he has a special trait. Like that's when when you're like, hey, what separates Mike from other guys? His size and speed. Julio, it was his size and speed.
Yeah.
So when I look at Rome, I'm like,
Julio
what is it?
Everything.
It's not his route running.
Rome is 6'3", 215, and he could do it all.
And that's part of my problem. That means you're good at a lot, great at nothing. Which is kind of my concern about Wembayama, going back to that. Is like he's good at a lot of stuff. He's not great at anything. So for Rome, I don't see a great trait. I feel the same way about the
Master of One isn't always better than Master of None.
Which is true. And I could be wrong. Because I'm a really big Rome Odunze fan. I really am. And
Me too.
I hope he balls out. Loved him at Washington. I feel the same way about Malik Neighbors. Like he's fast, but I don't see the route tree.
Yeah, it's a bunch of deep balls.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of go routes, which, same thing I say about quarterbacks. Just because you can throw go routes and screens doesn't mean you're going to be special. Zach Wilson can do that.
And at that point, that's the true test of why I would draft you, right? Because I can say, all right, let's get Justin Fields some help if the Bears keep him, right? You got DJ, who has shown that, I'm a number 1 receiver. I'm fast. I can catch everything. I can run good routes. Okay, cool. Malik, can you learn from him? Can you learn? Because clearly you can do everything. You can run fast. But can you do it? To your point, if
you is different,
right?
So that's why I feel confident in Marvin. People can. I feel confident in Marvin because I know he has the can, but it is seemingly he also has the want to. Like stories about the staff telling him he's working out too much. Like that's the type of stuff I'm like, okay.
And then you add the Hall of Fame dad.
You add the genetics that you walk in the door with. I mean, I don't know whose face he got, but outside of that, everything else is special. So you wake up physically gifted, and then you're a grinder too. Like you work at your craft like that. So I'm cool with saying Marvin's gonna be that. I have questions about everybody else.
I'm gonna be a homer. You know, it's not Keon. I think Johnny. Yeah, he has the drops, but we've never seen he's compared to Mike Evans often, which is pretty much obvious. But he has the largest wingspan ever in combine history, and he ran a 4.35. I know we don't care about the 40, but we see the speed on the field translate. He gets behind defenders similar to a Mike Evans. His numbers at the combines are identical to Mike Evans. I know how you feel about that, but I think a guy like Johnny with that kind of wingspan and the ability to get behind corners could translate to the league. So, like you said, what's his special trait? He gets behind defenders, and he might drop one every now and then, but he makes a spectacular catch. And he's a red zone threat.
My question for Johnny is, what is it that other people are seeing that makes him not
the
top
drops?
5? But even still, like Mike had drop issues in college,
but Mike was,
and he was still seventh overall.
Mike was uber productive with Johnny football. Mike was the guy.
My question, and I don't know the answer, there seems to be something. I don't know what that something is. I don't know if it's I don't know. Is it the fact that, do you feel better about him because he makes those special catches? Because he's not making the routine ones? No, it's like, he made a crazy catch, but he don't make the regular catch.
I think it's more so upside, and catching the football is just a focus thing for Johnny at least. But I don't think he's not capable of catching the football. But that gets
harder in the pros because the corners are better. They're also longer. They're stronger. So if you struggle with that in college, it's only going to get harder in the pros where linebackers are faster and hit harder. Where you went against maybe a couple of pro-level corners, in college, especially in the ACC. But now you're talking about the cream of the crop. So if you struggle with that in college, it doesn't get any easier at the next level.
I think there's also still just a bias when it comes to some of this stuff where what makes JJ McCarthy a better prospect than what was the kid from Tulane who's on some people's
Michael Pratt?
Some people have Michael Pratt on there.
Like way down though.
Way down there, but
he's not like top 5.
But
neither of them are like top 5.
No. My point is, to me, like there's a reason why JJ McCarthy is shooting up. I think it's almost like a recency bias. We've seen him.
And he played at Michigan.
He won a national championship.
So you saw him play. You see what he's done. Oh, he's doing all these great things. But we had the privilege of watching him do it, especially now in the college football playoff. Right? If Florida State had gotten there, won a game, made it to the national championship, and Johnny Wilson makes some good fourth down catches, I feel like all of a sudden now, like, oh well, who's this guy Johnny Wilson down there in Tallahassee?
I'm not gonna put it on that because I think they'll find you wherever you are if you're good, if you're that good. So I can't really, and it's Florida State.
Like the list I'm looking at, the 6 guys are receiver from Arizona. So whatever it is, like I'm looking at a list. They got the top 5 and they have the next like 10, and Johnny's name isn't on it. And I'm like, what am I missing?
Ooh, Jacob Cohen.
They got Jacob Cohen, Brendan Rice, Roman Wilson, Keon Coleman's on there, Malachi Corley's on there. So what is it that everybody else is saying about Johnny that they're like, he's not even a top 15 guy?
I think it's just the drops in the history of injuries.
Even though the injuries weren't his fault, he had 2 concussions. It's like,
I don't know. That's my worry with Johnny is that there's something there that everybody else is like, and we, again, the GMs are not the smartest people.
They're not.
So they should see, 6'7", 4'3". Oh my gosh. Like,
but this is why
he's the next Mike Evans. And even those guys aren't like, I'm taking him first round.
All right.
There's something. I don't know what that something is.
I mean, we said
the fact that this is an inexact science. We just had a Super Bowl with the last pick in the draft, and then another guy who was drafted behind Mitch Trubisky and Deshaun Watson.
That's the beautiful thing about playing a game of football.
Deshaun Watson deserved to be up there, and
100%.
then the Bears just bears that other part.
But even still, like if right now, what we're doing right now, if we said those 3 names, who's gonna who has the potential to go down as the best quarterback in this draft? We probably all would have said Deshaun.
Oh, yeah.
Again, based off of what we know and what we see. Now, we've seen a lot of Johnny Wilson. I don't think the country has seen a lot. And he did get hurt. He got hurt. He didn't have the greatest time at Arizona either. So it was like, but in all honesty, even Keon Coleman, that first half of the season was spectacular. He had 3 touchdowns against Louisiana State.
And then
based off of a lot of injuries.
I don't think Keon Coleman's gonna tear it up. I think he made a lot of splashy plays, but there were times where he kind of disappeared too.
He was hurt. That's what I'm saying. Majority of the guys on Florida State were hurt.
Was it like, did he get a procedure done after the season? Is he like, what are we talking? Is he banged up or was he hurt?
No, they were hurt. I think
they were hurt because they sat out the Pitt game.
I think Fisk had surgery. But I think Keon had surgery.
Oh, so Keon, he had a procedure done.
Yeah.
So then, okay, that's hurt. Okay, so
I don't know. Again,
either way,
but to answer your original question, I don't see 2 Hall of Famers out of this class.
So
I think it's really good though.
What year was the Mike Evans class?
Mike Evans was 2014.
All right. Okay. So the 2014 class is
10 years later. That's kind of crazy. All right. I think the quarterback class will be one of the better ones ever.
Agreed. That's another conversation for another day because there's some quarterback classes out there that
we'll save it. We had that conversation.
Yeah, we did.
We say 83, right?
Yeah, it was 83.
All right. That's all I got, fellas. Anything else you guys want to add? Lakers are ahead right now. I'm not gonna say we got it in the bag right now.
We're up 15 on the Thunder.
Lead.
I'm very okay playing the Thunder in the playoffs. I think we match up very well against them. Sure. I'm only afraid of the Nuggets.
Would you rather play Minnesota or the Thunders?
Oh, the Thunder.
Give me Minnesota.
No.
Give me Minnesota.
The reason I say the Thunder instead of Minnesota has several wings that are very long pause and make things more difficult for you. The Thunder are not a wing heavy team. They don't have as much size as Minnesota does. I don't want to have to deal with Nas Reed and the other kid that was hurt last year when we played them. No. Well, I'm not really. 80 kills Chet.
You're saying Minnesota. I'm sorry.
Wings. They have like power forwards and forwards that are long and really good defensively that I'd rather not deal with if I can avoid them. Okay. Give me Oklahoma. Because also, other than SGA, who's killing us in points? Because Chet's not going off on 80. He's just not. Okay. So after that, who am I afraid of? Giddy?
Dortch?
Or I think it's Williams is like their second leading scorer. But
you're not a 16-year-old girl either.
But
all right,
I'm gonna put Torian Prince and Cam Reddish on Jay Williams, and I'm cool with that. Give me Oklahoma.
Either or, I'll take them. I think
I'm only afraid of Denver in the postseason.
There it is.
Can I ask you guys one question on as we leave?
All right.
How many Pro Bowls does Caleb Williams have?
Oof.
I
don't like that question.
Okay.
I'm gonna answer it.
Go for it.
I think he's a bust.
Oh,
hot take.
Straight bust. Okay.
I don't like that question because Pro Bowl is dependent upon your team success. And I don't know what team he'll be going to.
Well, he's the quarterback. That says a lot.
It does, but it doesn't.
Assuming he goes
I think Justin Fields is really good, and he won't sniff one as long as he's in Chicago with the current construction.
So what's a better stat for? Was that making an all pro team?
Let's just assume he's on a good team.
Like that.
Okay.
All pro. He's not going to a good team first overall. Maybe an all pro or give me like stat leaders. Like at some point, can you lead the league in passing yards? Can you lead the league in passing touchdowns? Can you lead the league in completion percentage or something like that? Like give me real stats.
How about this? Will he have go ahead.
Let's say because that other stuff too is about perception. Okay. And sometimes about team success, and football is very much a team game.
Right. Will he have a better season than CJ Stroud?
No. He won't go somewhere where he has the coaching and the talent around him. I don't think.
We didn't know that about the Texans.
You know it now. You asked me, it's based on what I know now.
You're not projecting.
I mean, but based on what I know now, I don't see Caleb going to a team that has that talent around him and he's got that level of coaching. I mean, the Bears, they
have 2 first-round picks.
If they take him and they get Marvin and they put DJ Moore, then it's possible.
They'll light it up.
Anything outside of that, I don't see it. Because for some reason, I think the Bears are going to trade that pick. I don't think the Bears are taking Caleb Williams. I haven't moved off that yet.
I would love if they just traded, honestly.
Traded and do what?
Acquire more picks to have the draft is all about getting as many picks as you can get to see, because how many of those 32 guys flame out or just decent?
More than half.
Right? So the more picks you acquire, the more chances you have
Of hitting. Oh,
so if I got the number one pick again, let me trade back again to get more assets.
That's
Get
what
a
the
first and a
Patriots were
second.
good at.
Give me more assets.
Keep backing up.
yeah.
All right. That's all I got, fellas. Great episode. We got a title?
Miranga.
There you have it. The one and only Pumpy Johnson, the maestro himself to my right.
Yes, sir.
My furthest right, 2 by Breeze. Fabrizio.
Holes in my pockets and holes in my jeans.
Yeah.
What about me?
And I'm Unc. This has been the Somebody Said podcast.
Shout out to Method Man.
We're just not.